Welcome to Facts in 5, a presentation of the Fruitkin Law Firm. We provide our clients with legal services in the areas of business law, asset and estate planning, bankruptcy, and litigation. The Fruitkin Law Firm has office locations in Phoenix and North Scottsdale. You can visit us on the web at www.fruitkinlaw.com.
Hello. Today what we're going to talk about is what happens after you filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. There are a couple things that you have to do right away. Number 1, open a debtor-in-possession account. What's a debtor-in-possession? A debtor-in-possession is what you or your business is called after you file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Why is that? Because you as the debtor have all the responsibilities of a trustee. That is, you have responsibilities to your creditors and you have responsibilities to the court. A debtor-in-possession account is a special type of bank account that's opened up at a specific bank. A list of those banks is available, and basically, it's all the big banks. These debtor-in-possession accounts have a real special feature. That feature? The United States Trustee, the person who is going to look at your case and make sure that there's no fraud being committed, is going to have the authority and ability to see that account. Now what this also means is that all your other bank accounts need to be closed right away. Don't wait. Oftentimes people wonder what to do about those checks that haven't cleared. The answer is those should be listed in your bankruptcy schedules so that those creditors can also be paid. But you need to close your account, get evidence, a letter from the bank that that account is in fact closed, and then go ahead to one of the banks that's specified on the U.S. Trustee list and open up what's called a debtor-in-possession account there. The United States Trustee is going to ask for a couple things. One is copy the signature card. And 2 is a letter or an opening statement that confirms that in fact that debtor-in-possession account has been opened. You'll also need to order pre-printed checks. Those checks are going to need to have your case number on them. And so go ahead and make sure that those get ordered at the same time. The U.S. Trustee is also going to want a copy of the check, but you obviously won't get the pre-printed check for 10 days or 2 weeks afterward. Here's the second thing that you really need to be focused on. Answering the questions of the United States Trustee. Like I was saying before, the United States Trustee is basically part of the Department of Justice, and their job is to make sure fraud isn't being committed and that you're following the rules of the road, as it were. They have a list of questions. They have questions that ask about you, they have questions that ask about your real estate, and they have some requirements. So first, about their questions. Go ahead, fill out the information sheet. Also note there's a real estate questionnaire. So for example, if you're an individual Chapter 11 filer, you're going to have your house listed there. They need to have this information. The next thing that you're going to need to do for the U.S. Trustee is go ahead and contact all of your insurance carriers. The reason is this. They need to add the U.S. Trustee as a noticed party. Now this is different than being an additional insured. So let's just say that your house burns down. They don't get any of the money, but the U.S. Trustee's office needs to know that that insurance stays into place. So, by naming them as an additional insured, basically they'll get notice if you don't pay your premiums and the policy gets canceled. They're going to need certificates of insurance that basically list them as either additional notice party or party for notice only. Talk to your insurance agent. This, by the way, is commonly super confusing for insurance agents. If you need to have them talk to your lawyer, have them call me, have them call your lawyer, or they can talk to the analyst at the U.S. Trustee's office. All this information that the U.S. Trustee is requesting must be submitted to your lawyer or to the U.S. Trustee directly, depending on the instructions that you get from your lawyer. An analyst, that's an assistant at the United States Trustee's office, is going to take the first look at all of your materials. Their responsibility is basically to see that you've complied with all the requests. This is a very important role over there, and you have to make sure they have everything well in advance of your initial debtor interview with that office. Typically, that's going to be conducted in person. It is also possible to be on the telephone. Your lawyer will be there with you, and the U.S. Trustee will have the analyst there. He or she is going to ask you for information that's not contained and explain kind of the final piece of what else you're going to need to do. So what is that other thing you're going to need to do? every month when you are in bankruptcy, you're going to need to file a report. That report will go to your lawyer, who will then file it with the court. The form varies slightly between an individual who is not engaged in business and a business. So, if you're filing an individual Chapter 11, you'll have a different form. Make sure that you're filling out the right one. Your lawyer will help you with it. This is a very, very important thing, because if you do not file these on a monthly basis, that's how your case gets kicked out. That is really the only responsibility that you have on an every month basis, is to fill out the report. So, you'll have your meeting with the U.S. Trustee's office. Hopefully after that, you'll have very little, if anything, that you'll need to provide to them, and then it's on to your meeting of creditors, where your creditors will have an opportunity to ask you various questions under oath. We'll talk about that on another Facts in 5.
Facts in 5 was brought to you by the Fruitkin Law Firm. Facts in 5 is a series of short, general, informational presentations for the public. This is not legal advice. You should contact an attorney with specific questions regarding your particular situation. For more information, visit us on the web at www.fruitkinlaw.com.